Hello and welcome to the halfway point of 2023. Can you believe it? Maybe you've blinked and you're now finding yourself at this halfway point. It's one of those funny times of year that I think is actually really powerful. I always think that we choose how we can reflect and how we use that power. And that is actually going to be the catalyst for what you achieve over the next 6 months and how you're going to end 2023. So, what I wanted to do in today's episode was to share with you some super useful questions that are a great way to reflect on what's happened over the last 6 months. These are questions that I use for myself and check in with my business as well as personally. And I thought it'd be really useful to offer you those same questions so that you can see where you're at within your business and your life as well. Because for me, it's so much easier to make tweaks, make changes as we're going through the year than getting towards the end of the year and suddenly going, oh my goodness, I've not hit my goals. What do I need to do in the last couple of months? It's much easier to make those tweaks, make those changes as you're going through. So I'm going to share with you a series of questions that you can utilize. You might want to grab a pen and paper and do this as we're going through, or you might want to come back to this and just press pause after each of the question and create some really reflective space for you, because this is a game changer when it comes to running your business. We don't want to be looking at things, as I say, at the end of the year or even after the summer, because at that half year point where we are right now, if we wait until September to do this, you've only then got Q4 left of the year to be able to make those tweaks, make those changes. And I'm seeing right now that so many opportunities for sales, for business growth, and I don't want you to miss out on that. And even within the clients in my mastermind, literally within the last week, I've welcomed in some lovely new members into the mastermind, and they're already smashing it because of the work that we've been doing together, because of the frameworks that I can share with them, because of the messaging tweaks that we can have, really talking to their ideal clients, making sure that their offers are validated, but also the right things for their audience right now as well. So it's really important that we recognize that there is success available to you right now. This isn't about waiting until after the summer holidays. This is about taking action, getting reflective, and looking at the things that you can do, and maybe letting go of some of the things that you don't want to do or don't serve you anymore. Okay, so I want to share with you some of the sales results as well, because I think it's really important from an inspiration perspective. Rather than me just saying to you that, there are opportunities, I want to share some of those with you. So one of my clients, Beth, she is a leadership coach. She helps people within the corporate space. She has already hit her Q3 target, and we're right at the beginning of the quarter. So she sent me a message right at the end of Q2, actually, saying that she'd already hit her Q3 target for sales because of the way that she set up her installments and payment plans. She's already hit that target. It's guaranteed income. So she knows that money and that goal is already hit. I've got another client, Becky, who is a website and copywriter and branding coach. She's fully booked now with clients until the autumn. I've had another client who's a podiatrist, so she works with local clients. She's had her best ever month in business, and she's been in business for 6 years. I've had other clients that have just come straight in. So a lovely lady called Amanda. She's a hypnotherapist and hypnobirthing teacher. We've been working on some of her messaging, and she's already having conversations with people that she didn't even realize were watching her within her audience, just from a few messaging tweaks that we've been making. So she's signing new clients that have just literally been waiting for her to put those offers in. So these things, and she's only been in the mastermind for 1 week. So these things can happen really quickly when you know what you're doing and how you do it. And you can get really reflective on the things and intentional with the actions that you take and the resources that you're creating. So the questions I want to share with you today. So the first one is to really think about whether you are on track. So the question I want to ask, or for you to ask yourselves, is, am I on track with the goals that I set in January? Right? And I want you to look at this from a financial perspective, a business perspective as an overall, your lifestyle and your personal goals. So 4 different areas within this. There's no point in just looking at your business and financial goals if you feel like your life and your personal goals are out of alignment, right? So if you are feeling burnout, if you are feeling like you've got some health challenges, for me, that's not a healthy business. It's certainly not a sustainable one. So we want to make sure that whatever is happening in your life is also supportive of your business, and whatever is in your business is supportive of your life as well. They're so intrinsic, especially when we're business owners. So that question needs to look at all of those different areas. Are you on track with the goals you set in January? And look at them from a financial, business, lifestyle, and personal perspective. Okay. So once you've got an idea of that, I want you to think about whether you're still aligned with those goals. Because it's all well and good that you can have those goals in place. But if you've smashed all of them, like my client Beth, who's already hit her Q3 goals, my invitation to her was, okay, what's next? What's the next goal? Do we need to evolve anything? I've had to put up my sales targets and the goals that I want to achieve from a business perspective. I've also made some changes within my personal and my health goals as well. So are you still aligned with the goals that you set out in January, or does anything need to evolve? Really great question to ask yourself. The other one is a little bit more reflective. So the next one I want to invite you to think about is, what lessons have I learnt over this period of time? Now, for me, this has been a really interesting 6 months. My business has completely shifted, both from the products and services I've had out there, the way that I have delivered my business. I've been optimizing things behind the scenes. I've also had some legal issues that I've been dealing with. And that's meant that I've created a whole load of learnings for myself, but I've been able to share with some of my clients who've been experiencing similar things. So I really want you to lean into what lessons you've learned over this past 6 months as well. And it might be personal, it might be around your business as well. Okay, so the next question to ask yourself is, what's the simplest, easiest route for you to achieve your next level of success? So this is going to be linked to your goals. Now, I love to keep things simple. I love to keep things straightforward. I think there's so much smoke and mirrors, especially within the social media world and these self-proclaimed gurus that try and overcomplicate things. When we pare things back and keep things simple, and by the way, business gets to be simple, then you can create those easy routes for you to achieve those goals that you want to achieve. Okay, so really leaning into what's the simplest, easiest route for you to achieve that next level of success. And this is always a question that I come back to with my clients as well as myself, because I don't want life to be complicated. Business gets to be easy, it gets to be intentional, it gets to be focused. And to do that, you need to have an idea of what that simple, easy route gets to be for you. Okay. So the next question, who do I need to be to create that next level of success? Right? So who is your best version of yourself that is going to allow you to create that version of success? How do you create that energy? What mindset space do you need to be? Really leaning into that. Who do you need to be? What beliefs do you need to let go of maybe? So yeah, leaning into who do you need to be to create that next level of success? And that might take a little bit of journaling around and really thinking about who that next level version of yourself is that allows you to create that next level of success. Now, quite often there'll be mindset blocks that come into this. There's that kind of, who am I to achieve this? I'm not worthy of this. So really think about those limiting beliefs that might be coming up for you. Remember, our belief system is just that. It's a belief system. Our brain likes evidence and will look for evidence to keep you in that safe space. So if you want growth, you need to push those edges and you need to lean into who you need to be to create that next level of success. So the next question, which is very much linked to this, is, what actions do you need to take in order to achieve that? Really, really powerful question, because this is when we start getting intentional. This is when we start getting intentional from an energy perspective, a time perspective, a productivity perspective. What actions do you need to take in order for you to achieve you being your next level and your next level of success goals to be achieved? Okay. And linked to the mindset one is, are you taking actions and making decisions from a place of your best future self and abundance? Or are you making those decisions and taking actions from a place of doubt? A really, really great reflective question to ask yourself. Because if you're not taking intentional action, if you're not making decisions in a way that allows you to create that limitless success and trusting in that process that things are going to come, you will find that validation as to why things aren't. Now, a really great example for this at this time of year is that there is a summer sales slowdown, there's a mid-year slump. Now, I can categorically tell you that that is absolutely not true. And it's probably a narrative that you might be telling yourself. Okay. So yes, if you see people in person, yes, people are going to go on holidays, but actually that doesn't mean that you can't make sales. What can you do versus what can't you do? Okay. So if you're leaning into the narrative right now that sales are going to slow down over the summer, that's the decision you're making yourself to create those actions that are going to link to that. Okay. So what actions and decisions are you making Are they coming from your best future self and abundance, or are they coming from a place of doubt and question? Okay, so my next question for you to think about is, what support do you need that's going to help you achieve your goals with more joy and simplicity? So this isn't about just working hard and pushing for results. This is about achieving your goals with more joy and simplicity, because we know that when we're in a space of joy, when we're in a space of keeping things simple, away from overwhelm, then we're much more likely to take intentional action. We don't get into this overwhelmed space of procrastination. We don't get into this overwhelmed space where we start questioning and doubting everything. We want to hold on to that best version of yourself, that you are going to achieve your success goals by the end of this year. So what support do you need in order for you to achieve those goals with more joy and more simplicity? Now, you could explore all sorts of different areas within this. This isn't just about, getting a business coach, although that might be one space for that. It might be having some accountability. It might be working on your health goals. It might be prioritizing the things that give you energy. It might be that you need to work on some boundaries. It might be that you maybe need to let go of some clients. It might be that you need to tweak your business model. So what support do you need to achieve your goals with more joy and more simplicity? Great question to ask yourself. Now, my final question, and this is perhaps one of the most important questions that we can ask ourselves. If nothing changes, where am I going to be at the end of the year? Okay. So it's a great question to ask yourself and reflect back on where you were from January. And that's part of the initial question of, am I on track with my goals? But if we're at that half year point, we've got a line in the sand, we are literally halfway through the year. If nothing changes, where are you going to be come December 31st? And is that really a place that you want to be? Okay. So some really great, powerful questions that you can ask yourself, lean into. As I said, you might want to go back through this. You might want to press pause after each of those questions and really kind of get intentional with those. But so much of our success comes down to our personal choices. It comes down to our personal narrative, what we choose to prioritize, what actions we take. Okay. So some people might look at this and they might take themselves completely out of the race. They might just think, you know what? It's too much. It's too much. I don't want to be in this space anymore. And that is, again, that's a choice and a decision on a personal side of things that you're going to make. I know that's not you because you're listening to this. And I know that what you want right now is that growth, is that success. And I can promise you there are so many opportunities for you and for your business. And I totally believe in you. I believe in every single person that I come in contact with. I want you to succeed. There is absolutely place for all of us. But I want you to succeed because that is where your fire comes from, your passion comes from. There's a reason that you come into setting up your business, the impact that you can create, that ripple effect that you can create. So I want to wish you the most amazing second half of 2023. I'm super excited by this week. I'm kicking off my brand new program, Sold Out for Summer. I'm also super excited because I'm running an in-person event this week in London, and I get to meet some of my clients. I get to connect with some of them, and that's something that I love to do. Relationships is one of my big core values, and it's really important that for me, I have that connection. I love to get under the skin of people, love to get under the skin of businesses. So I'd love to know, actually, how are you spending your first week of this quarter? Drop me a message on Instagram at Sarah Cook Coaching. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear how you're kicking off this quarter, this second half of the year, and whether those questions, those reflective questions, have been useful for you. And if you have enjoyed listening to this episode, please feel free to share this with somebody that you think might also need to have these questions. They are so, so powerful and a great opportunity for you to make those tweaks, make those changes within your life, within your business, that allows you to not just step into, but actually to create incredible levels of growth within your business and personally. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I will see you on the next one. Wishing you a most fantastic quarter 3, but also half year of 2023.